Okay, we're doing A Course in Miracles. We're on chapter 24, the goal of specialness, and we're on to section 4, specialness versus sinlessness. Specialness is a lack of trust in anyone except yourself. Faith is invested in yourself alone. Everything else becomes your enemy, feared and attacked, deadly and dangerous, hated and worthy only of destruction. Whatever gentleness it offers is but deception, but its hate is real. In danger of destruction, it must kill, and you are drawn to it to kill it first. In such is guilt's attraction. Here is death enthroned as Savior. Crucifixion is now redemption, and salvation can only mean destruction of the world except yourself. What could the purpose of the body be but specialness? And it is this that makes it frail and helpless in its own defense. It was conceived to make you frail and helpless. The goal of separation is its curse. Yet bodies have no goal. Purpose is of the mind, and minds can change as they desire. What they are and all their attributes, they cannot change. But what they hold as purpose can be changed, and body states must shift accordingly. Of itself, the body can do nothing. See it as means to hurt, and it is hurt. See it as means to heal, and it is healed. You can but hurt yourself. This has been oft repeated, but is difficult to grasp as yet. To minds intent on specialness, it is impossible. Yet to those who wish to heal and not attack, it is quite obvious. The purpose of attack is in the mind, and its effects are felt but where it is. Nor is the mind limited. So must it be that harmful purpose hurts the mind as one. Nothing could make less sense to specialness. Nothing could make more sense to miracles. For miracles are merely change of purpose from hurt to healing. This shift in purpose does, quote, endanger, unquote, specialness, but only in the sense that all illusions are, quote, threatened, unquote, by the truth. They will not stand before it. Yet what comfort has ever been in them that you would keep the gift your Father asked from him and give it there instead? Given to him, the universe is yours. Offered to them, no gifts can be returned. What you have given specialness has left you bankrupt and your treasure house barren and empty, with an open door inviting everything that would disturb your peace to enter and destroy. Earlier I said, consider not the means by which salvation is attained, nor how to reach it. But do consider, and consider well, whether it is your wish that you might see your brother sinless. To specialness, the answer must be no. A sinless brother is its enemy, while sin, if it were possible, would be its friend. Your brother's sin would justify itself and give it meaning that the truth denies. All that is real proclaims his sinlessness. All that is false proclaims his sins as real. If he is sinful, then is your reality not real, but just a dream of specialness that lasts an instant, crumbling into dust. Do not defend the senseless dream in which God is bereft of what he loves, and you remain beyond salvation. Only this is certain in this shifting world that has no meaning in reality. When peace is not with you entirely, and when you suffer pain of any kind, you have beheld some sin within your brother, and have rejoiced at what you thought was there. Your specialness seemed safe because of it, and thus you saved what you appointed to be your Savior, and crucified the one whom God has given you instead. So are you bound with him, for you are one, and so is specialness his, quote, enemy, unquote, and yours as well. Okay, let's read a couple things here. There's only two things. There's specialness, which is of the ego. It's part of the ego thought system. And it was the original, basically, coming from this tiny mad idea to be separate. What would it be like to be separate? It was a joke. It was so laughable that no one laughed at it. It's impossible to be separate from the whole, right? Separate from the one. But it took on it somehow played itself out and had ramifications that ended up to become a serious thing. And and in that serious thing, it became, God, I want to be special. I want to be someone. I want to be somebody. I want to be somebody. And I want to be somebody that you love more than others. I want to be special to you, God. Daddy, I want to be special. Trying to put words to this, right? If you look at children, look at me. Look what I can do. Daddy, look at what I did. Aren't I special? That kind of thing. It's really, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, let's not make specialness evil or anything. It's just a joke. It's a mistake, right? But it's not horrible. It's just, it is what it is. But the, when we follow the ego, it actually becomes a very serious thing. And sin becomes a very serious thing. So, along with specialness comes this idea of sin. And with this idea of sin, Jesus has said earlier in the course, that the ego is very happy about that. When we start to think in terms of this concept of sin, because the ego is driving towards hell. It's the highway to hell, right? It's damnation. That's the goal of the ego. That's where it wants you to be. And it, like Jesus says here, it wants you to see yourself as limited, frail, weak, at the mercy of forces outside your control. It wants you to feel guilty, ashamed, scared, basically all the things that we do feel, until we start to wake up to the fact that we don't have to feel that way. That's part of the what Jesus is doing in this course is he's saying, hold on a second, you don't have to suffer. you don't have to suffer pain and torment and guilt and shame and all these other things. That's your choice. That's a choice. You have a mind that can make a choice. Let's read this. Only this is certain in a shifting world that has no meaning in reality. When peace is not with you entirely, and when you suffer pain of any kind, you have beheld some sin within your brother and have rejoiced at what you thought was there. It's a very powerful sentence, very powerful idea. When peace is not with you entirely, when you suffer any kind of pain, you're holding something against your brother. Your brother could be you. I mean, it is you, because there's no one outside of you, really. But your brother is a mirror, to understand this, because projection is so strong. So we project out, and we can see it more clearly in with other people, with external things. And these things are unconscious until we make them conscious. We may not be conscious about what we're holding, what's down there and what our grievances are. But this is, all to help make it more conscious and make us more consciously aware of where the sticking points are for us. They all come to the same thing. It's specialness, right? It all derives from the same one problem, basic problem, which is, or you could say mistake. It's all stems from that one mistake, which is separation, the idea of separation and the illusion of separation. and wanting to be special, having that desire to be separate from the whole, different, special, getting special love and special treatment, which is impossible. And as long as we hold on to that, we're going to suffer for sure, because it's impossible. We want something that's not even possible. So we definitely are going to suffer until we realize, once again, that we have to undo that whole way of thinking. And when we do undo it, then we arrive at that place of sinlessness, where we see that nothing and no one is any more special than any other. We're all equally special. We're all equally perfect, whole, one together. And obviously, this is something that most of us think we don't want. It's like, I don't want to be the same as everyone. I don't want to be, that ruins everything. What about all the, if you think about what that idea, it's the idea, it makes you, it's like I've mentioned this before, the idea that people have of heaven, that, oh, well, heaven must be so boring, all those angels flying around, little cherubic angels with harps, and that must be really boring, Imagine being there for eternity. Who would want that? So we like we like being in a body, and we like being in the drama, and we chomp at the bit when it comes to the idea of that this is all an illusion, and no one's more special than anyone else, and all of our ego needs are off the table all of a sudden, and it just, that's why this is not easy for us. So that's all I have to say for this moment. Actually, there might be one more thing that I want. No, that's basically it. This is a short section, and we'll next section is a little longer, the Christ in you, and then I'm going to actually do a workbook lesson here in a moment. I'm trying to go through most of the course. Some of the workbook lessons are really, all of the workbook lessons, but some of them are like amazing in bringing something new to light. So, all right, thank you for listening. Talk to you soon.